Students' fees must be raised in California state university system to help offset the millions of taxpayer dollars taken back by the state to help balance the state's budget. Read any newspaper, news periodical, news website, or watch the evening news, and there will be shocking stories about the sad financial state of the California economy and the critical state of the California government's budget. Imagine a high school senior visiting a CSU campus and finding the whole campus closed on a weekday due to the campus being shut down. Due to a barrage of factors on the world, national, and state scene, California's economy is reported by many experts as the worst it's been since the Great Depression of the 1930s. The state Senate has no real answer, and the governor's answer is multi-level and includes allocating far lower funds to California state universities, as well as furloughing all but the most essential security-related employees for 2 days a month for the next year, thus closing the campus down on those days. Employees will not be paid for those days, thus saving the state large quantities of money. Today, I would like to speak with you to why it is only fair and is very necessary for the California State University System students to share in the burden of the financial difficulties of the state by having their student fees raised to a level which will help to fill the gap left by a state tax base which does not meet the needs of the state. If state programs to help the need had to be cut, employers furloughed with up to 10% pay reductions, and the university system budget drastically cut, and there is still not enough money in the state's coffers, then students must do their part to pay the increased fees. There are three major areas upon which I want to focus my speech on today. First, students currently pay only a small cost of their, and I quote, unquote, real education. Second, the state of California's economy is in such a dismal state that the only way that university standards, which we now have had, can hope to be maintained is in part to raise tuition. The tuition rates in California are lower than in most state-supported universities, and yet the average salaries and average cost of living in California is higher. Our tuition rates are not in line with that of many other states' universities. And let me take a moment to discuss the view that many students have about fee increases before they actually have the facts about CSU fees. Students think that taxpayer money is never ending, and what has been must continue. Students believe that tuition is already too high and that the state owes them a higher education. Uninformed students believe that they are paying for their tuition rather than using the taxpayers' tax money. Now I'd like to discuss why these are not sound arguments. Then I would like to move on to my first point. Taxpayer money is not never-ending. The tax base in California is shrinking in comparison to the growing population and the inflation rate. Students' families can get tax credits for the first 2 years of college. Higher education, unlike K through 12, is a privilege, not a right. And the CSU system's various tuition is moderate compared to other states. The state using funds for the taxpayer is paying for most of the fees and tuition paid by California students. Plus, students do have the option of going to the first 2 years to a community college for a much lower cost. Students currently pay only a small cost of their real education. Currently, for the fall of 2009, tuition is going up to about $2,200 per semester. The real cost for the semester's education, according to the Chancellor's office, is about $12,000 per semester. The taxpayer is making up for the rest of the funding